All right, we're filming in the very recent aftermath of the Derek Chauvin verdict. What do you make of it?
I'm not going to jump into the jury box and try to interpret for you the evidence that was set before the jury. I'll just tell you why the whole thing stinks. And the whole thing stinks because, guilty or innocent, if you have mobs outside a courthouse demanding the right answer, and then they get the right answer, what that does is put a big question mark over whether it was the right answer. Right? If the mobs were chanting, "We know who the jurors are, we know where you live," the one thing you can take away from it is you can't trust the verdict. Right?
Yeah.
And there's two elements to this. One is that it is absolutely the case that we have politicized individual cases, individual situations. So with Chauvin kneeling on George Floyd, the video footage of that looked horrendous, right? It really looked bad. Now, there were things presented in the trial that indicated that he wasn't choked by Chauvin, but the jury said differently. So I'm willing to wait for that I'm sure it's going to be appealed, and there's going to be another trial. But all the initial reports were everybody, holy cow. But then we just had, with the last few days, we had a situation where a police officer shot a girl who was attacking another girl with a knife, was about to stab her, and shot her, and it got politicized in exactly the same way. Yeah. And so when it looks bad, so the white officer is kneeling on a black man, and it looks really bad for the white officer. And then you have another situation where a white officer shoots a black girl who's about to stab another black girl. And it doesn't look bad at all for the officer. It looks to me like that officer just saved a life, right? But the political lines break exactly the same, in exactly the same spot. And what that tells me, as long as that's going on, you are unlikely to get a fair trial at all in this country, in this culture, in this climate. Because we have mobs outside the courthouse chanting for the right answer. That's problem number one. And problem number two is that people cannot be persuaded that that's a problem. Right? They just think it's democracy in action. So you had Congressman, the president, calling for the right answer on this trial. That's not how trials work.
Right.